today. This is not a policy debate. This is proof. You can't lie about the numbers. No matter how much time you keep giving to Representative Goldman, he's not going to be able to spin it and change it for all of you. The facts are the facts. Secretary Mayorkas is breaking the law. We are going to impeach Secretary Mayorkas today on this committee. We don't care how long you go on. You can keep taking your 5 minutes and yielding back and forth and going to Goldman. Keep going. We're going to impeach him because he has broken the law. He has violated his oath of office. He is breaking federal immigration law. Americans are dying.
I don't tell part of it because the hypocrisy of the people on that side of the aisle has just become so egregious over the course of the day that nothing surprises me. You sit here self-righteously attacking Mr. Mayorkas and saying he's not abided by the law, I guess the immigration and nationality law. He's lied, he's willfully done these things as though he has some personal motive for seeing the cartels bring in more fentanyl. He's broken the law, and that's why we've got to impeach him. So I would ask you, if somebody was accused or indicted or convicted of rape, would you think they broke the law? How about fraud? How about sexual harassment? How about sedition and subversion? And let's don't forget tax evasion. Do you all think those are laws that if you do those things, you've broken the law? Well, of course you have. And yet your candidate for president, who not a one of you have condemned or stood up and said, no, I'm not going to support that guy because he's broken all these laws. I hadn't heard you say it. You're fine to go down the path with him, but you want to attack Secretary Mayorkas for doing the best that he can and not violating any such laws as this. And
Well, the gentleman yield. When the Secretary and the administration has tried to use their limited authority to change policy to limit the number of people coming to the border, to streamline the process, to make it go through ports of entry, Republicans filed lawsuits to stop the administration from doing it. So again, the hypocrisy of you sitting here accusing Secretary Mayorkas of failing to enforce the law when you are going to court to prevent him from enforcing the law
I've used my time on this.
is hypocrisy at its height. You have created this situation, and now you want to have the second impeachment of a cabinet secretary ever. You let him do his job. You work with the Senate, your colleagues in the Senate, on the legislation needed, and then let's figure out how to address the border.
The gentleman's time has expired.
This is doing the bidding of one individual because they have assembled a law firm here, Insurrection LLP, and they're working on behalf of one client, and that's the former president, Donald Trump. And they're here every day to carry out his petty grievances. And we heard him say, this border deal helps Joe Biden. So they need to take out the Secretary of Homeland Security so that
Mr. Chairman,
they can reduce.
Point of order. Move to strike the words insurrection LLP.
Would you like LLC?
Wait, are you talking about in the,
From,
or what he just said?
yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
The gentleman is recognized.
are you recognizing Mr.?
I'm still trying to understand what he's
I
asking.
move to have the words taken down, insurrection LLC or P, couldn't understand what the last letter.
You want to strike what he, in his testimony just now?
Yes.
Okay.
The facts. 3, as Republicans sink deeper and deeper into lawlessness, their greatest fear is being held accountable. They worry that prosecutors will indict them.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I can't hear the reading of the amendment.
Are you speaking into the microphone?
As far as I know, sir.
Okay. Well, let's keep the chatter to a low amount. I mean, I know we have to occasionally whisper to one another, but let's try to keep the volume of our voices down. The clerk may continue.
3, as Republicans sink deep, partisan Republicans are seeking to impeach Secretary Mayorkas for the following reasons. 1, later this year, United States voters will choose a president for the next 4 years. The presumptive Republican nominee, Donald Trump, is a narcissistic, hateful liar who was found by a court of law to have raped and defamed at least one woman. He is currently facing 91 criminal charges for a wide variety of alleged offenses, including a felony conspiracy to defraud the United States. He was twice impeached by the House of Representatives, including for inciting a violent insurrection. He is currently working to foment discord and perhaps a civil war, encouraging Republican governors to order National Guardsmen to take up arms against the federal government. In a fair election, he will lose because the United States people prefer decent, honest civil servants like Joe Biden. Republicans are playing dirty political games, attempting to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas to distract from their own legal and electoral problems, score cheap political points, and appease their cult leader. 2, in the same election, United States voters will choose their representatives to Congress. Republicans are widely expected to lose control of the House of Representatives, in part because court rulings have overturned several gerrymandered maps and returned voting power to disenfranchised citizens. Voters are also witnessing the extent to which Republicans have failed to govern. As Republican members of the House of Representatives have spent far more time fighting with themselves over who should serve as Speaker than on any meaningful attempts to develop bipartisan solutions to problems facing our country. The House Republican majority has accomplished approximately nothing. As Republican Congressman Chip Roy put it, quote, "We have nothing. In my opinion, we have nothing to go out there and campaign on. It's embarrassing," end quote. As Republicans stare down the increasing likelihood of losing their grip on power, they are becoming more and more desperate, grasping at any opportunity available to potentially increase their poll numbers, even if it means pursuing an unconstitutional impeachment based on flimsy pretexts and dishonest twisting of the facts. 3,
The clerk will read the amendment.
House Republicans' impeachment inquiry has been a political crusade to help them politically, aid in donor fundraising, and harm President Joe Biden. It has not been a serious impeachment investigation for, quote, treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors, end quote. The standard for impeachment under the Constitution. Republicans have pursued impeachment, which will do nothing to solve the challenges at the border, instead of engaging in substantive bipartisan negotiations to develop meaningful solutions. Republicans have repeatedly revealed their motivations for obstructing border policy negotiations and impeaching Secretary Mayorkas through the following. 1, on April 18, 2023, the New York Times reported that Chairman Mark Green, before launching his impeachment investigation, promised campaign donors behind closed doors that he would impeach Secretary Mayorkas. Chairman Green reportedly said, quote, on April 19th, next week, get the popcorn, Alejandro Mayorkas comes before our committee, and it's going to be fun. That'll really be just the beginning for him, end quote. 2, on May 30th, 2023, speaking to reporters about her begrudging willingness to support a bipartisan debt ceiling bill, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene reportedly said, quote, if you have to eat a shit sandwich, you want to have the sides, okay? It makes it much better. So what I'm looking for some sides and some desserts, end quote. She then named the, quote, beautiful desert, end quote, she desired, stating, quote, somebody needs to be impeached, end quote. 3, on November 13, 2023, Axios reported that Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene sent a fundraising email supporting her impeachment resolution, asking supporters, quote, if you can afford to chip in, please do, end quote. 4, on January 3rd, 2024, Representative Troy Nehls told CNN he would oppose a bipartisan border negotiation, stating, quote, let me tell you, I'm not willing to do too damn much right now to help a Democrat and to help Joe Biden's approval rating.
Is CNN breaking news.
Hello, welcome to our viewers in the United States. I'm John Vors. It has just gone 1:15 on a Wednesday morning in Washington, D.C., where Republican lawmakers are one step closer to impeaching the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. The Republican-controlled Homeland Security Committee has voted to bring 2 articles of impeachment to a vote in the lower house, which means for the first time in nearly 150 years, a cabinet secretary could be charged with high crimes and misdemeanors by Congress. Republican lawmakers accused Secretary Mayorkas of failing to enforce U.S. immigration policies at the southern border. 2 articles of impeachment allege the willful and systematic refusal to comply with the law and breaching public trust. Republicans have offered little evidence of wrongdoing by Mayorkas, and constitutional experts, congressional Democrats, have argued this is an abuse of the impeachment process.